Hello everyone and welcome back to Run It Up number 112. Wow, that's so perfect. He just does it, right? It's amazing. We're here today playing some 25 cent, 50 cent, no limit Texas Hold'em on ultimatepoker.com. I just reloaded, didn't show up yet. I'm in for $80 here at this table. I haven't been playing for too long, but I had kings and I raised bet against this guy and he rivered a gut shot, bet out, and I had to pay it off. Didn't win that, but ain't no thing. Just got back from my trip to Baltimore. Played my first ever TV cash game, which was pretty awesome. Played some 25-50 out in Baltimore with some pretty cool people. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. But it's nice to be back. I feel like it's been a little while. I got back on Tuesday. Yesterday I had to run around and do other things, and now here we are, back on the YouTubes. So glad to be back here today. We'll have video today, probably have a video tomorrow, and then I guess we'll talk about what my plans are going forward. I have some interesting, I don't know how interesting they are. I have some ideas for stuff going forward, some streams and stuff like that. But first things first, gonna bet here. This is not a spot where I'm like convinced we're good, but I think checking just makes our hand look not very strong, whereas betting gets people to fold hands like even like 7-8. I'd be very happy to have that hand to fold right now. It's 25% to win, more than that actually, if we just check back. So I thought betting made more sense than checking. At this point, I guess we can check back. I don't think he'll fold 10. Don't know if he'll fold the 6. 10 is a pretty good card for us. I mean, we beat 5-7. We beat like 7-8, 7-9, 9-8, ace highs. I don't know if he'd bet a 6 here. He would bet 10s. We're getting a pretty good price, I think, all in all, though. And against a guy I don't really know, I think it's fine to call. I mean, surprise, Jay Carver wants to call. But, I mean, we beat enough things. I think it's fine. Don't beat 3 of a kind, unfortunately. I mean, it could be bad if that guy's, like, never bluffing, but it can't be that bad. We have a pair. He is in the big blind. How bad could it be? So it was kind of a similar story through the majority of my session, as you guys will one day see. But yeah, so I went out to Baltimore on Saturday, something like that, and played in this TV cash game. I haven't seen a lot of those guys I hung out with there for a while. I mean, I hung out with Gavin Smith, Greg Merson, original David Baker. The Moon Girl was also out there. Steve Danneman was in the game for a little bit. Who else is in the game? Matt Glantz, Tom Schneider. Actually, of all the people that I hadn't met before, and there were only a couple, I had known pretty much everybody, but I didn't really know Tom Schneider. Man, love that guy. He's got a great personality, always laughing, plays a mean guitar. I don't know. How do you not love the guy? Likes to splash around. My kind of guy. It's great, you know? I guess we'll talk about the game now. So I had never played a TV cash game before, but I wasn't even like a 0.2 out of 10 nervous. I mean, I don't really know why. I thought I might be a little bit, but no, I was totally fine, and had the toughest seat in the game. I had Greg Merson on my left, and then I had a variety of good people on the left of him, and then on the left of that seat was also usually pretty good players. So I think I had the worst seat in the game. The people I had position on were playing pretty tight and correctly, and I just kind of had to play a pretty tight strategy to adjust for Greg on my left, to the point where I actually got accused of being a nit by David Baker. By David Baker, no less, I know. Not that he's that tight, but come on, accusing me of being a nit is insane. Yeah, I was accused of being a nit, so yeah, I played pretty tight, but you guys will see it'll air on, I think it'll air on like CBS Sports or something eventually, but it'll probably also end up on YouTube. I'm sure it'll end up on YouTube eventually. So I'm not sure when that's coming out, but you guys will eventually see. I played for like 11 hours or something. I played for like one of the longest cash sessions I've played in a long time. And there were several hands that I regretted within minutes of playing them. I definitely felt a little bit rusty. I haven't played high stakes. I haven't played live cash even. I haven't played really live cash and not even much live poker in the last year. So definitely felt a little bit out of my element at start. But by the time we got to like the midway part of the session, and not even midway part, like a third of the way through, I felt good. At that point, I had already lost a little bit of money, but I felt pretty good all in all about just how I was playing by like the middle point. And you guys will have to see how I do. Doesn't go great for me, spoiler alert, but I had an awesome time. It was really a lot of fun. I kind of miss playing high stakes, or it's not even like high stakes, but I mean it was like pretty high stakes. But I kind of miss playing those stakes and bigger. And it was awesome. I had a really good time talking to Greg the whole time. I haven't really hung out with Greg for a while. And you guys will have to see the hands, I guess, when they come about. I'll have to do a little viewing party. I'll have to do a little viewing party when it hits TV. Hopefully they show the hands I play well and less of the hands I play poorly. But hey, what can you do? You leave it up to the hands of the editors. So yeah, I had a really fun trip all in all. I guess I have some pictures actually I can show you guys. Let me see. All right. Wow, that was amazingly easy. I clicked the button and it just worked. So this was the set. Where we played that's this poker table here. That's right. Oh yeah, it was at Maryland Live was the casino that this all happened. It was actually a really nice casino, like really top shelf casino. I mean, besides the weird like can't leave the building with waters rule, which is very weird. This is a view from my seat. Tom Schneider, ODB, the one amateur player who had played fairly well and tight when he did play, which is correct because the lineup wasn't easy. Matt Glantz over here. Gavin Smith wearing the bacon jacket. And this is Greg Merson. You can see D Moon Girl's arm over there. Let's see. Oh, yeah. This is just a picture of a table, obviously. I'm still smiling over there. Probably not winning. I was smiling at the time. Yep. Sure is a picture. These are not my pictures, as obvious. If you ask, hey, why are they all sepia-toned? You'll have to ask the person who took them. That's me reloading. Yep. Chips, please. Please. Chips, please. And that's the Moon Girl, happy as ever. Happy as a clam, rocking the bacon jacket. Yes, that's what that is. I thought it was like some sort of like zebra skin at first. No. It's just bacon. It's the Moon Girl wrapped in bacon. Sure is. Just another picture of a little stack here. So yeah, I had a really good time all in all. I hadn't played live cash in a long time. It was nice to get back in there. I definitely felt a little bit rusty, but I think I'm going to start playing more and more live cash in the next few, I don't know, I'm going to say months. I think I'm going to get back into playing more poker because I've really had a good time with it, and I kind of miss it, to be honest. And I definitely want to, I don't know, try to get back in there a little bit more. I think that's one of the upsides of doing less videos for longer periods of time is that I can do things like play poker and stuff like that and go on these trips, that kind of thing. So my plan is to keep moving towards the less videos more often, or sorry, other way around, less videos less often. Okay, yeah, less videos less often for longer periods of time. That is what I meant to say. So this is a pretty good spot for us to bet twice here. I mean, I don't think he has ace-king very often. He doesn't really have anything more than like one pair very often. We do have a gut shot if he does decide to stick around. I think even if he has a hand like ace-6, like ace-6 suited, something like that, it's a really hard situation to do anything about if you're him. Like, what are you going to do? Check call? Just hope I've just lost my mind and have the deuce-3 puppy dog feet? Come on. I would not do such a thing. I'm just saying. But, yeah, so my plan is, I guess talk about this spot, because this is going to be interesting first. Don't think we've seen this Velkin guy before. Like the name, by the way, though. I think this guy is pretty loosey-goosey, and I don't know what to make of this. So now there's so much money in the pot, and ace-queen is probably pretty likely to be the best hand here. I think calling is fine, but I think re-raising is just better. We're going to squeeze out some of this dead money, which would be sweet. I mean, there's no way these two people have very much, and this guy could be messing around or could just have, like, jacks or worse. So very happy to take the $15 in the pot most of the time. And if this happens, it's also fine with me. I mean, it's possible this guy has me beat, but don't think that's particularly likely. I mean, he could have ace-king and just be flatting and flatting. That would make some amount of sense, but certainly can't fold now. All right. Well, I think I like how we played the hand. We were definitely the favorite to win this pot because, he's going to fold out his hand pre-flop some percentage of the time, which would be great for us because we can't beat it, obviously. Well, we can beat it, but it's hard. So I like how he played that hand. I'm happy that we decided to re-raise, of course. That seems like the right decision there. So what I'm thinking about doing going forward is I'm thinking about setting like a day. Sorry. I'm thinking about setting like a day a week where I'm going to always stream. Like a day and a time. Like I'm thinking about setting like a stream every Sunday for the Sunday tournament on Ultimate. So I'm thinking about setting a stream for that and probably playing it with my own money and then just selling a piece of it to the Run It Up bankroll. Because it's still a $100 buy-in tournament, and we shouldn't be playing those with only $930. But I want to play more tournaments, and I want to do more streams for tournaments. So I'm thinking like every Sunday at whatever time that is Pacific time. I think it's at 6. I think it's at 6 Pacific time. I think every Sunday at like 6, I'm going to stream that tournament and sell some percentage of it to the Run It Up bankroll. So I'm planning on, as long as my sleep schedule and travel schedule allows, my plan is to do a stream like every Sunday. So we don't do videos on Sunday, but I'm going to do a stream every Sunday, post that video probably either a late Sunday or early Monday, and like set that as like a thing I'm going to always stream like Sundays. I think that would be awesome. Another thing I'm going to do, which we a while ago I withdrew all the money that was non-Run It Up money, and that was fine when we had more money. But it's still like, I think a lot of you guys seem to enjoy the higher stakes videos, the like challenges. Like I think that even though for accounting purposes it makes more sense to just withdraw it all, now that we're doing these like the Moon Girl plays and Dan O'Brien plays and whatever, like the bankroll isn't going to be necessarily correct anyway, and I have to do math regardless. So I just deposited more money into Ultimate so we can now play some higher stakes. So that's pretty sweet. So we'll be playing some more. If you enjoyed those like high stakes videos back in the day, not going to be super high stakes, but it'll be like 5-10, even just like 3-6, 2-4, higher stakes sit and goes tournaments, whatever. Those will actually be possible again because I've decided that they should be. So that's what happened. I decided they should be, and so they are. All right, I want to make it 120, but 102 seems fine as well. I think that don't recognize the Super Busto who just sat down. This guy we've played with before, this No Safe Queens guy. I think we played with him in a tournament, actually. Interesting little lead here. We have some options between raising and calling. I think that I would usually call with this guy, but I think raising is actually fine as well. But I think I'd rather just call with like most of the hands in this spot. That was a pretty good turn card for us here. Definitely going to just raise right here and now. If he has a hand like 3-8, Queen 8, even just like a hand like Queen Jack, he's probably not folding any of those. And I don't think there are going to be too many hands that he's going to bet fold in this spot. Like what do you have that bets twice here? Pot and then folds? Don't think there are going to be too many hands that do that. I could have made it like 17, something like that. But I guess calling is viable as well. I didn't think he was going to be folding too often, to be honest, against the raise, which is what I said. I didn't think he was going to be folding too often against the raise because, like, what does he have? He just calls and is like, I pot. If he has nothing, well, we could call and then he could pot the river with his nothing. If we know he has nothing, right? That's a good thought experiment, actually. So if we know he has nothing, right? I don't know. This is a spectrum. I'm trying to do a spectrum here. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty on my spectrums. So if we have all his hands here, this is all the hands he can ever have. Aces, Devon, 7 deuce. So if we imagine that we cut out the reasonable things he can't have, like he probably doesn't have aces, probably doesn't have 7 deuce. So if we say, okay, let's say he has nothing. He's just got King 10 and he's just like, I'm going to bluff Jay Carver right here, right now. Well, what should we do? We should call because he's drawing dead. So we should call, let him bluff, and then that should be that. So that's one thing. But if he has something, if he has 2 pair, top pair, anything that's like really connected to the board, we'd rather raise turn, right? Because those 10s and jacks are scary. Board pairs either counterfeit his hand or help him, So I think if I thought he was strong in that spot where it looks like he was probably not that strong. So in the future, when this guy pots, we're gonna have to realize that he's probably either just like marginal or bluffing. I think like this, he's doing this now, this whole potting thing. So this is a little bit different of a spot because he didn't lead out. But I'd be curious, maybe like pot size bets of this guy are just weak. Checking back river makes me think that's probably true. Oh, interesting. So I wasn't paying attention to the first two streets, pre-flop or flop, but did he re-raise pre-flop? I don't even know if he re-raised. I have no way to check. But you guys can go check, and if we were really watching and I wasn't talking, I would be distracted by you guys. if I wasn't distracted, I would definitely be watching. Like that's a great like refinery to get information from, because we look at that and say, okay, well he re-raised pre-flop and then he potted on turn, and then what did he do on flop, and we can really kind of develop a profile for what we think this guy will do in various circumstances and things like that. Could check raise, check fold. I think every option is viable. I think check calling is the worst option though. Pretty sure that he's going to be opening a bunch because on the button he's going to be c-betting a bunch because he's it's an ace-high flop. So I think check raising here seems okay. Against a guy we don't know at all, this could be just bad if he's playing a fairly tight range. I think on the ace turn, I think that's probably about time we stop this whole charade. If he has an ace, he's obviously never folding at this point. If he has an 8 even, or something like that, he's probably not folding. The hands that would fold to this are like 6-7 and stuff like that, and we have a 6, and I think we just check fold. I think this is just like a we lose the pot turn card. We're losing the pot on a lot of turn cards, mind you, but even if we continue on like 4s, 6s, 7s, maybe 9s, maybe 9s. There are some turn cards we could contest on, but I think the ace is like, all right. No matter what he has in position, it's like, okay, I guess he's probably not folding anymore, and I don't really want to give him the old 1-2 Teddy over here and just give him the old, I don't think it's gonna work too well. So, all right, you got this one, super busto. You're a little bit less busto thanks to my ambitious flop check raise. You got to be ambitious though. Life without ambition it's just rafting without ambition, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. You're like, heck yeah. All right, well, not folding to this guy. It's just not happening. I don't know what to tell you. 325 pot. I'm getting 2-1 in position. Let's see a flop dealer. Jack and 5. Well, we beat 10s and worse. That's kind of cool. We also beat other random suited connector types of hands if he ever has those. Against a check, I think I'm going to actually just check back. He could check sets here, stuff like that. But if he has nothing, he probably will check turn as well. I think we'll just check back and make some decisions on turn and or river. If he checks here, I think I'm still going to just check back. I don't think we're at much of a risk of getting drawn out on if he doesn't have us beat right now. I'm not going to fold. I think there's, if we don't have the best hand, we have an opportunity to win the pot on hearts, 10s, kings, clubs maybe, and then obviously 5s and jacks are probably pretty good for us. And 8 is not a super fantastic card for us. If he bets here, I'm probably going to just fold. It doesn't make a lot of sense that if he has nothing, let's say he just re-raises and has nothing, it makes no sense that he would not bluff flop and then decide to bluff turn and river. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So I kind of believe him in this spot. I mean, he can credibly have hands like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, queens, jacks, aces. Don't think he ever has kings or 10s. You'd think those would just check one of the two later streets. So could we have just folded? Yeah, we could have. But how do you win if you fold? You can't win if you fold. It's a very key. It's a quite key thing to say. All right, I guess we've been losing a bunch of pots and our image isn't great. I was considering doing something here, but I think we'll just say no thank you. That'll be fine. I'll just have to wait. I'll just take this hand off. No big deal. But yeah, so I don't really know exactly what my plans are, but I kind of really like the no schedule videos. I know it sucks for viewership. 5-day-a-week video is obviously the best thing to do as a viewer, but I just can't consistently do 5-day-a-week video without destroying every other thing that I do with my time in life. And then not only that, but it sucks to feel like I have to do videos. And when you do 5-day-a-week videos, if there's a day that I have a lot of stuff going on and I have to squeeze in a video, the video comes out worse, and I feel worse about that, and I think just I think just the best way to go is these longer videos less often, and I think there's some happy compromise between like completely like surprise, here's the video, and scheduling exactly what time and day they're going to happen every week. But I like the idea of doing a Sunday stream at like 6 p.m. I'll do it this Sunday. I can probably do it this Sunday. Yeah. So my plan is to do that on Sunday and make some decisions as far as like I don't know. Maybe we'll do like Apprentice will be every certain day, and we'll have like 2 or 3 days that will be scheduled out, and then the other days will be up to if I have the time and desire, and then those videos will be sweet because they'll be like today's where I'm like, let's make a video today. Let's put some bitches in cages. Even though we're currently stuck $32, $42 if I know how to add, $41 and change if I was trying to be absolutely correct. But no big deal. It's only 20 minutes into the video. Well, we've got plenty of time. At this point in Dan's session, he was stuck like $100. All it took was a couple little overbets. No big deal. He played some hands really weirdly. Not how I would have played them. That's all I know. Yeah, I was sweating a little bit over there. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to do so much work to repair the Dan's damage here. But he made it work. He won $100. The biggest run-it-up win in gosh knows how long. It's been quite some time. Off to the flop we go. It's a pretty good flop for us. I mean, he did raise in the big blind against our limp, but that means nothing. Ace-high is pretty likely to be the best hand here. We beat all sorts of nonsense, and we just need a 3 to ensure that, I guess. Check and call. Another pretty good turn card for us here. Plan is to check and call. We lose to pocket pairs, obviously, but we beat all the King X. He have 9-10 suited here. Like, there are so many hands, and he will be very likely to anticipate that we're going to have to fold a very wide range, or a majority of our range here. And ace-high is towards the top of the best hands we can show up with. My plan is check call. I mean, that's my plan here. I don't think this guy is likely capable of betting like ace-jack for value on the river here. So if he can't have ace-jack, then he only can have pocket pairs or bluffs. So, I mean, you would also think that maybe he would not bluff at this point because we've check called on the turn and nothing has changed on the river here. So it does kind of look like that we have a 5. But I think I'm gonna pay this off. I just don't think that. I think we beat enough hands, and let's see. Wow, I wouldn't have thought he would bluff with that hand. I mean, if he's gonna, or I guess he's not bluffing. I wouldn't have thought he would bet that hand. I would have assumed that if he had deuces, he would not anticipate that he would call the river. Like that's another reason. Like it would be very similar to calling him having ace king in that spot, or like ace queen or something like that. Like I wouldn't have anticipated that he would bet that hand because I don't know if he would anticipate that we're going to call with worse, but it appears that he has. That or he's just like, I have a full house. I have a full house. A pair and 3 of a kind. I just bet. It makes. I think it makes sense that the kinds of hands that he bets with are like pocket 6s and better for sure. He can have pocket 6s and better, but then everything else doesn't make a lot of sense. He has 3s and deuces and. People are talking. Jay Carver changed her avatar to N at the moment. The ATM. I guess I should. If I'm paying off Deuce's full house. I mean, it makes sense. I think it makes sense. I thought it made sense. I could be wrong about that, but I guess that was a little ATM-y if he's betting deuces. He's just like, I have a full house. Of course Jay Carver will call me with just 3 of a kind. He was right. For 12, the full amount. Max value. Gonna raise it up here. Probably should reload at this point. I feel very torn about reloading and not reloading. I feel like several people who I respect just never reload ever. And I think it makes a lot of sense, the reasons not to. But when I only play for these shorter sessions, not reloading puts us in like a bit of a, not awkward stack size, but it's like less fun stack size because we're supposed to play tighter. No one likes to play tighter. Okay, that's a pretty good flop for us. We actually have several options here. I actually think what I'm going to do is I'm going to check raise all in. I thought about just betting, but I actually think just check raising all in makes more sense. I think he's a little bit more aggressive than the average person. Boy, we're nailing these decisions today. We are nailing these decisions today. Gonna bet here. He might fold a pocket pair, like sevens and worse would be sweet. Might fold ace highs, that would also be sweet. All right. At least we managed to win the pot. Ship it. We won a $5 pot. That's right. We're rich, bitch. We're going to fucking Disneyland over here. I don't know what to say. I mean, I feel like that ace deuce hand is like... I think my logic is correct. Oh, hello there. Just 5 in a row. No big deal. I think my plan here is to check to this guy and then probably check and raise. I think I'm just going to raise this one straight out. This guy is almost never... He's almost never bet folding here. He's always going to have hands like 8-7, 6-7, 9-7, 10-jack, stuff like that. So I think if we call, this guy is going to just call most of the time. So yeah, I think we can just raise and get it in against this guy pretty often. But knowing how I've run so far this video, he just okay, sure, whatever. I'm not predicting correctly. They're getting sad turn cards. I don't know what to say. It's just been sad beans all around. A helping of sad beans for all of us. Somehow he's still paying us off here, which is kind of weird. I mean, we lose. I don't know what hands he could have queens in them with. I don't know what hands could have queens in them. We must chop this up a decent amount of the time. Oh. All right. No chop for you. No chop for you. Interesting that he decided to bet out on flop with that hand. He decided to bet out and then call. And then check and call on turn. Which I guess on turn makes sense. And on the river he just hopes we don't have a 7. And I mean if we have a hand like two pair on flop or turn, we would probably play that kind of similarly and then be in a tough spot on the river if he just shoves, because he could definitely have 7s. We had assigned him a lot of 7s when we were talking about what he had initially. So I guess that makes sense all in all. There we go. A little recovery. A little bit of recovery. I gotta say, when I remembered if you had been a fan of poker for a while, you might remember the high stakes poker session that Phil Galfond played in years ago, and because he saved most of his money for the second day because he didn't have he brought like only $500,000 or something and didn't want to just punt it or whatever it was, but he was quiet and pretty tight the first day. And I kind of had, and because he was tight and quiet, they didn't invite him back for a while. So he got this reputation of being like this tight, just 3 of a kind. He got this reputation of being like this tight, quiet player, and so he didn't get invited back. And at my table, I was like a little bit concerned about that because I had Greg on my left, and my strategy was going to be to play tight because I just couldn't really do very much because Greg was going to just re-raise. He bought in for 30,000 or something, so I was not prepared to like really go to war with Greggy every other hand. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just play pretty tight, I guess. And so not only was I playing tight, but then Gavin Smith, Tom Schneider, and Matt Glantz. Matt's not the loudest person in poker, but Tom and Gavin might be. Gavin certainly. Tom is up there. And so not only am I playing tight, but I'm also being outshadowed by the 2 guys who are screaming for 24 hours. I think I saw Gavin the morning of the session. It was like 10 or whatever in the morning the day we were going to play. He was already drinking Greyhounds, and I don't think that man stopped. I think he drank 2 Greyhounds an hour for the rest of the day. 2 or more an hour for the majority of the session. That's crazy. Seemed totally fine, unfazed by it. Meanwhile, I have like 2 drinks and I'm like beyond can't walk down a hallway. So check to us here. I think this is a pretty good turn card for us all in all because I think he has less spades than we do, right? I think he has like ace-x more often than anything else. I think we have spades more often, right? I'm actually considering raising this turn card because I just don't think he has it very often here. All right, let's raise it up. Okay. Well, even if he does calls like he did in this spot, we still have outs to 7, 8, 9, which I believe are probably all going to be good. And I guess we just made mistakes in this hand because it doesn't seem like we are going to win this one. I mean, I didn't really... This is kind of a weird hand, and I actually think we win this more than people would think that we win this because what does he have? What does he have, like ace-jack, and he's just like bet calling and seeing a brick and then just shoving? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why doesn't he think we can have it here? Because, we could, so... But I think we actually win this pot a lot more than people think that we do because he has to do this if he doesn't have it, if he wants to win the pot, right? So if he has a hand like king-queen offsuit with like the king of spades, he has to play it that way. But there's not really a lot of other hands that would play that way. He has to have like flushes and have just decided to bet call and not shove on turn. He has to have like 2 pair and have seen the brick river and then decided to do something. So there's really not a ton of hands that make a lot of sense that he would play that way. But that being said, I mean, I think we're beat more often than not, but I'm just like, most people are like, oh, you have 9. Fold. But that's not necessarily true because what kind of hands does he have that make sense? And we're getting 3 to 1, so we only have to win like 25% of the time. And I think we do close to that, but not quite enough. Like if we had ace-8, we're probably calling river, and the decision is not that different. Also, that was he min-raised, right? He min-raised under the gun. Check to us, he check called flop. So if he had a hand like ace jack, is he really check calling flop, bet calling turn, shoving river? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But it doesn't make a lot of sense that he would have hands like king queen either, because what does he have? He has king queen offsuit and then check calls flop with just a backdoor flush draw. I don't think so. But I like our turn raise. I just don't think he has it very often, even though he might have something that could bet call. I don't think that he very often will be able to stand that. But I don't know. Maybe that was a little bit fancy play syndrome. Maybe just a tad. But I think it was okay. Like, how bad could it really be? Risking 17 to win whatever that was on the turn. Probably like... probably about pot, I guess, right? Risking 17 to win 20 or whatever it was. Because there was 60 on the river when he bet 20. So... Oh. All right. Probably will reload, I guess, after we go through the blinds. If you're ever going to top up, you should never top up for your big blind. Top up on your button. That's a pro tip right there. Doesn't make much sense to top off while you're in the blinds. So we have 2 options between re-raising and calling. I re-raised with ace-king a couple orbits ago in this situation. So we could just re-raise and just get it in. I think that's a reasonable decision to make, but I guess we'll just call instead. He hasn't seemed to react too aggressively to re-raises, so I don't know if he would react besides just getting it in with better and hands that are flipping against us. Pretty good flop here for us, I think. I think I'd rather check raise than do anything else. I think check calling just allows us to make mistakes. There are so many bad turn cards for us, and we're very likely just to have the best hand right here and now. King is a bad turn card for us. I think I'm going to start here with a check. Not really planning on folding, though. I mean... Alright, I think he can have 7s. He can have like 10-9. He could have ace highs, like ace-queen that just called on flop. He could have jacks. He could have some kings for sure, but I think we can call this here. I think we win this often enough. Man, making good decisions today. I mean, man, tough to say. Maybe he always has it. And we're just never winning, in which case we should fold. Spoiler alert. I mean, if he always has it, then we should fold, but I thought that there would be enough chance that he would have, like... we could be check raising. He calls with 10-9. We check on the king. The king is a good card for him. He'll probably know that we'll have to fold there a pretty good percentage of the time. So I had thought that the king would inspire his hands that were worse than us to bluff, which would obviously be good for us. Plus, I thought that there was some chance if he had a hand like... No, I mean, I guess him having queens is certainly possible, and it's not like shocking to see him have queens or anything like that. But I guess this was a sad run out. I guess we just check fold. I guess that's what we're doing. check and fold, I suppose. Maybe we win. I have queen n10. Nope. A lot of outs, though. Queen, jack, 10, spade, 6. Was that all? Gonna probably have defended against the limp, but against the old $3 raise, just gonna let that one go. Probably gonna play here for a decent amount of time longer. I mean, we'll see. Don't think I'm like playing particularly well or anything. In fact, I feel like we've made some pretty. I don't know. I feel like we've got ourselves into some close situations, and it just hasn't worked out too well for us so far. I don't know. It's we need to get some Dan O'Brien in here, I guess, and let Dan O'Brien just take over. Like, all right, that's it. I retired it up. Retire it up. Bring on D Moon Girl. Let D Moon Girl and Dan O'Brien take over. Danielle didn't win when she played Run It Up, though. She lost like $8. It was very annoying to have to account for that. Okay. We've seen him do this before a couple times. I think 7s are good enough that we're going to go with it. I mean, like, I think we're going to just make a small re-raise and just leverage. You know, we're just basically going to, like, opt into running the stacks. Great flop for 2 7s. Can't ask for much better than that. And it doesn't matter what we bet here. I think 6 seems about right. All right. Hey, we won a pot. We won one. Made decisions that actually earned us money. Nice. Doing it. Gonna just flat call this time. I know this is a big raise, but I feel like this guy is just reloaded. If he was still at $20 or $13, I would not. But I think we can get away with this here. In position and all of that. Very likely to go heads up, which is fine by me. Not the sweetest flops for the old 9-8 of clubs. I tried. I failed. I don't know what to say. I tried. I failed. That was it. Guess we could have tried the re-raise game as well. Could have done it back-to-back, made it like $8 or whatever. But I think it's fine. We call. Let's just play friendly poker. I just call. Just call. I have all these Dear J. Carver emails open from before. There's been only a trickling of them since we stopped really going to the inbox. I guess we can pull some of these. There are still some decent ones. This one only came in an hour ago. Wow, you're gonna have the luckiest of days. You decide to sit in a cash game. No Dear J. Carver either. Wow, times are really tough around here in the Dear J. Carver inbox. You decide to sit in the live cash game with Phil Galfond, Phil Grusom, Antonio, D Neggs, and Brian Rast. Well, that sounds like a terrible decision. We've already made a terrible decision here, I think. Everyone has 100 big blinds. Who would you sit to your left and who would you sit to your right? And if you have a reason, why them positions? Regards, Colin. Well, Colin. I would put Daniel on my immediate left. I'd put Brian Rast 2 to my left. And then I would put Galfond all the way to the left of them, so across the table from me. And then I would put Antonio and Phil Grusom on my right. The reason I have aligned them in this way is because Negreanu is the least likely person to re-raise pre-flop, which is why I want him on my left directly. And then I feel like Brian is similarly like a flatty kind of player, which are easier to play with when they're on your left. Brian is definitely both. I mean, first of all, this is obviously a sick game that I'm not a winner in. I mean, I would be really surprised if I was a winner in this lineup with Phil Galfond, Phil Grusom, Antonio, and Rast. Like, I think, and Daniel is a winner. I don't even know who the biggest loser is. It's definitely, I mean, in my current state of my game, it's definitely me. I got to be the biggest donator in the game. I don't know if maybe like Brian Rast sucks at like no limit cash, but I have no idea of knowing that. I mean, I don't think he does. I think he's probably fine. And I mean, Phil Grusom is one of the best in the world. Antonio is, really good at no limit, but not great at cash though. And Galfond is obviously one of the best, and Negreanu has been doing it forever. So it doesn't seem like the softest marshmallow pit in the Marshmallow Kingdom. I'm just saying. If I was making a map, I would not put that as the marshmallow pit on the map. I'm just saying. But my reasons are entirely based on why I think they would be not likely to re-raise me. I think that's the majority of of the reasoning. You know, the guys that are always going to put you in tough situations, like having Phil Gruesome or Antonio on your left, just means like, oh my god, have to play so tight. But I mean, I'm going to play so tight in that lineup anyway, so I guess that's not a huge deal. I mean, it's not. I think like my optimal seat positioning win rate or lose rate is probably not that far in that lineup than it is if I had like the absolute worst lineup with like Antonio on my left, Gruesome on his left, Daniel on my right. Phil, you know, that lineup is not, my win rate is not that much higher in the ideal one. And like I said, I'm not even sure I'm a winner in that lineup, so it's possible. Pretty big hand here. I'm going to take the no safe queen's hand, given that this guy has taken so long now. All right. We got that prediction right at least. Can't stick together. Can't stick together long enough to win a pot, but the prediction sticks around and gets that hand right. Oh, the guy who shoves very quickly has the best hand. Interesting. Raising that up here with the old Jack 5 puppy dog feet. Oh, we're going to do this again, huh? I wasn't folding the first time. I don't see why I would fold this time. Literally nothing has changed besides the fact that I'm stuck, and that doesn't make me want to fold. I'm just saying, let's see a flop, dealer. Let's do it. Well, this is a pretty good flop for us all in all, believe it or not. We can get him to fold hands that are like jacks and worse on the turn. If he has better than that, he's not folding. But we can always turn a club, a 3, a king, a 10, a jack, a 5, a deuce. There's lots of cards we can turn here that are pretty decent for us. 6 of spades is not amongst them. We can still win this pot even still if he decided to check and give us a chance to bluff. You know, not that I think he's check folding all the time. I'm not planning on betting twice probably. But it's very possible he has a hand that's just like 2 10s and just checks and folds. You know, there's not too many hands that we're going to show up with that are Jack 5 of clubs. I mean, maybe we always have Jack 5 of clubs in this spot. I don't know. Let's see what he decides to do here. I mean, he definitely can have hands. He can definitely check here with like ace king or, you know, pretty good hands and then check shove on us. So, well, this has worked out really well. Really well. Another superbly played hand by team Run It Up over here. I don't know what to say. Let's just get ourselves into these little situations that I feel like are decent and then aren't. I mean, these are obviously very close situations. The turn raise with the 9-8 against him was very close. The float and the flop is fine, but pre-flop I think is a little close. Obviously, it could just be a fold if we were trying to play like I would never have defended that in the cash game I was just playing the other day. Of course, you know, when I'm playing against guys who I know are really good. I have no idea who this guy is, obviously, but he made the right decision. He's made the right decision so far this video. Probably going to play for, I don't know, maybe like 2 more orbits, something like that. We've been playing for 45 minutes, so not going to play for too much longer than that because it's already kind of late in the day, and I want to get this video out so you guys can see. I really want to get this video out so you guys can see. Yep, that's what I want to do. Let's get this video out there. I got to play more tournaments. I don't know what this is. These cash game sessions, man, I feel like they've just been like... I mean, I feel like it's been variance, but it's definitely been sucking, you know. The number of hands you have to play to reach the long term in poker is so long. It's so hard to say, you know, like, oh, you can play that Jack 5 hand 100 times in a million hands. You're only going to win, what are you going to win, like 40 out of the 100? Enough to show a profit, but, you know, you're going to lose a lot of them. I was risking 12 to win 27, so it has to work like 40% of the time right then and there. I mean, it does. I think it does. What do you know? I don't know anything. I'm not claiming anything. I've always said we're here running it up for fun. You know, we're hanging out, playing poker, doing our thing. Don't do what I do. Fold the Jack 5 of puppy dog feet. Just say no. Just say no to the Jack 5 of clubs. That's the lesson for you kids at home over there. For all you 12-year-old Swedish wizards out there looking for lessons, the lesson is just say no to the Jack 5 of clubs. Could have check raised on this flop as well, but I think check calling is viable. He's going to just continue with hands that are crushing us. He could definitely have nothing, but I thought that it made a little bit more sense to check call than to check raise. And at this point, we probably have the best hand. We could be beat by random 10s and things like that. Could have like ace jack, I guess, also, and somehow win, but... All right. Not even stuck $100 right now. Not even stuck $100 right now. Boy, I'm glad I deposited money. I'm glad I deposited money. So we're gonna be playing. We're gonna be playing like 5-10 next video. I'm just not gonna know what to do. I don't know. I just can't beat the quarter-half-dollar. That's it. It's the bane of my existence. I'm just. I'm in the quarter-half-dollar cage over here. That's it. I'll just. I'm really glad that I defeated the quarter-half-dollar stake level 10 years ago. Otherwise, where would I be right now? I don't know. Playing $25.50, don't win. 25.50 cents, can't win. I don't know. How much lower can I go? Is there a 2.5 cent, 5 cent game that I can get in somewhere? Maybe I can beat that one. No promises, though. All right. At least I feel like I wish people would play with me more. At least if I've been losing like this, I feel like if I went and sat and played like 25.50, I feel like there wouldn't be a line. There should be a line out the fucking door. There should be a line. Come on, please. I'm gonna play 5-10 and stuff on Ultimate. Please, people, play with me. I encourage you. Come and get it. The dinner bell is ringing. It's not been the bink bell lately. It's been the dinner bell. Right. Let's see how this works out for us. Very passive game is pre-flop. Not much re-raising. Although I feel like the game was a little bit more aggressive when we started, but it doesn't seem to be now. Seems like fine flop to take a stab at. Not one that's going to connect too often with our two opponents, and we're going to win this hand on a pretty large variety of turn cards, if not just straight up on the flop right then and there. Mission accomplished. All right. Pretty. Oh. Yep. Sounds about right. All right. We'll play one more orbit for the fans, and then I feel like I've been smacked around enough today for the two of us, for the 10,000 of us. I feel like I've been smacked around enough today. I think I'm fine. I think I've had enough here. Thank you. I guess we'll just be folding this one here. All right, 3 more hands. Let's see if we can't do a little bit of work. Try to end on a high note at least, and not just stuck $97. Poor Dan O'Brien. He comes in, bluffs his shoes off. Yeah, he just does his thing, and we just burn it up. I mean, I lost the first 30. I lost with the kings against that guy, which is certainly fine. And the rest, I don't know. It's all like close decisions. It all just didn't work out well. The ace-deuce hand, nope, didn't work out well. The 9-8 hand, nope, didn't work out well. Jack-5 hand, nope, did not work out well. I mean, if one of the moves had worked this video, we would be only stuck 80 instead of 100. And I would feel less silly about it, I guess. But, I mean, they were all really close, I think. And maybe they were not the greatest, None of the spots were, like, great spots to farm. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this post-game review is just like a sequence of remembering sadnesses. It's like, oh, yeah, I remember that hand? Yeah, that was really sad. Remember that hand? Yeah, that too was really sad. So here we are. Sad beans all around. But, hey, I still had fun either way, because I always have fun no matter what. Win or lose, who cares? If, it's whatever. It is what it is. You can always make more money, boys and girls, Especially, the sick thing is the amount of money that I've been, like, gambling for in the last few weeks, not just including the cash game. The winning and losing of that affects me, like, a tenth. Even though it's, like, 100 times the stakes. Or higher, maybe. It's a very high time percentage of the stakes. Damn, the run-up losings and winnings are so much more depressing and happy when I win them. But that's relatively rare. All right. Well, hey, I did my best. didn't work out too well for us. Thanks for watching as always. Don't forget facebook.com/DeCarverPoker, twitter.com/Jason Somerville, and I will see you guys for the stream on Sunday. Not sure if I'm going to do a video before then. I might. I just don't want to promise for sure, but I will definitely be around for the stream on Sunday, 6 p.m. on Sunday. If something changes, I'll post on Facebook, but yeah, that should be fun. We'll play some tournaments. I'll sell like $50 worth of action or something to us. And I think that is it for now. I will see you guys back for more very soon. Thanks so much for watching, as always, guys. Peace.